In this video, we are going to revise mathematics paper 1 for the year 2022, and we are dealing with a paper that was written by the external. So let's look at the first question. Evaluate 5 raised to the power 3 times 1 over 5 squared. So there are so many ways in which we can evaluate this question. So let's look at the first one. So say 5, since we have power 3, we'll say 5 times 5 times 5 3 times. Then this is same as the over 1 times here will be 1 over 5 squared is 5 multiplied by 5. So we can cancel this 5. We cancel also here, we cancel this one. So we can now multiply 5 times 1 will give us 5 over. Here the remaining is just 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 into 5 will give us 5. Let's look at the second way in which we can solve for, we can evaluate. So this will be 5. So now instead of saying 5 times 5 times 5, we can say 5 times 5 times 5 will give us 125. Then over 1 times 1 over 5 times 5 is 25. So 125 times 1 will still get 125 over 1 times 25 will have 25. Then it will divide 25 into 125 will give us 5. Then in the third way in which we can evaluate a question like this one, so say 5 raised to the power 3 times 5 squared. So what this time we are going to do is we are going to move the 5 to the top. So if we move 5 to the top, the power will change from positive to negative. Then we can see that we have the same bases. So we are going to use the rules of indices. We get one base, then we add the powers. So we know that 3 plus negative 2, same as this one. Then this will give us 3 minus 2 is 1. Anything raised to the power no is equal to the same thing, which is 5. Then we go to question 2, expand and simplify. So the first one, we have 2a plus 3a minus 4. So we expand this 2a, we multiply by 2 by 3a, the second one by negative 4. So let's do it. 2 times 3 is 6, a times a is a squared. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8a. So we are done with 2a. So let's go to 3 times 3a will give us positive 9a. 3 times negative 4 will get negative 12. Then these two are like terms, so we can simplify them. So 6a squared negative 8a plus 9a is just positive a minus 12. Then we can now move on to question 9. Solve the equation. So whenever we have a quadratic equation, so the first step that we are supposed to do is we need to make sure that here there is a 0. So how can we make the 0? So this 9x will shift to this side. So this will give us 9x is equal to, since we have removed that, we have 0. Then we are going to factorize. So what is common between these two expressions? So x is common. Then x into 4x squared is just 4x minus x into 9x is just 9 is equal to 0. So the first value of x is equal to 0. Then the second value of x will be 4x minus 9 is equal to 0. Then for us to solve for x, we need to shift this 9 to the other side, giving us 4x is equal to, we are going to have positive 9 over 4 over 4. So if we cancel, we have x is equal to 4 into 9 is 2, remainder 1 over 4. Then we can now move on to question 4. Shade A intersecting B, complement intersecting C. Now it may be a difficulty. So what we are going to do is This means that A intersecting B is not needed, including the intersection of C. So what do we need here? So let's do this. We are going to redraw a Venn diagram. Now we'll say we are going to make the same 3 sets, but this time we'll make some elements so that we may have a picture. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first let's find the A intersecting B. So the intersection of A and B are elements that are found in the 2 sets. So we can see that 2 and 5 are common. Then let's also look at set C, since we have this one. Then let's look at the element for C. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the key point here is the A intersecting B is not needed, including the intersection of C. So let's do this now. We need to look at which element is common in A intersecting B and C. So we can see that 5 is common. So this means that we are going to shade set C excluding 5, because 5 is part of the intersection of A and B complement. So we'll shade the remaining. So the remaining, we can see that this is the remaining of C. So this is what we are going to shade. Okay, so now we can move on to question 5. Factorize completely. Now for questions like this, you need to be extra careful, because you need to make sure that whatever that you have in 2 brackets, they should have the same signs. So we'll say 2ab minus 2ay, then plus xy. I'll say, okay, so let's begin with instead of, okay, first let's just rewrite this one. So we have 2ab. We know that if we factorize, b will be positive, the first pair. Now for us to have the same b, let's begin with negative bx plus xy. So let's factorize now the first party. So 2 is common, even a is common. So 2a into 2ab is just b minus 2a into negative 2ay is just negative y. Now here we are going to take out the negative, so that if we divide negative into negative, we may have positive b. Then what else? X, open brackets. So negative x into negative bx, so we are going to have positive b. Then negative, this negative into this positive, we have a minus. Then y, so we can see that we have exact pair of brackets. So we factorize 1, so which is b minus y. Then this 2a minus x will give us a new bracket. So you can go to question 6. Question 6, a company declares an annual dividend of 6%. The value of each share is 25. Mr. Mapesa has 500 shares. Find his annual dividend. So the formula will say total annual dividend is equal to number of shares times we'll say percentage. So we'll say rate over, we know percentage is 100, times we'll say now number of, we'll say, I mean the amount of value per share. So we'll say NV. So let's do math. Number of shares, we can see this 500 shares times the percentage, so this will be 6 over 100 times then the value of each share. So n is the value of each share, so which is 25 kwacha. So we can cancel this 0, we'll cancel this 0. So 5 times 6 we have 30 times 25. So we need to multiply 30 by 25. So how do you multiply numbers like this? It's simple. So just take out the 0, we write our 0 here. Then if we remove this 0, 3 will multiply by 25, giving us 75. So this is the amount that was paid. Then we go to question 7 for the sequence 5, 12, 19. Find the 60th term. So we'll say 5 is our first term, 12 second term, 19 third term, dash fourth term, we have fifth, we have 60th term. So we want to find the number on the 6th position. So let's find by using the formula. So common difference is equal to second term minus first term. So second term is 12 minus first term is 5. 12 minus 5 is 7. So this means that they were adding 5. So 5 plus 7, 12 plus 7, 19. 19 plus 7, 26. Plus 7, I will have 33. Plus 7, we get our 40 here. Then we can also find the same number by using the nth formula. So this is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 times common difference. So Tn, since we are told 6 is 10, this means that n is equal to 6. So A is our first term, 5 plus 6 minus 1 multiplied by 7. So we have 5 plus here. We know that 6 minus 1 is 5 times 7. So what is 5 times 7 will give us 35. If we add these two numbers, we are still getting the same number, 14. Now for B, nth term. So nth term you use now Tn is equal to A. Now this time while there is any, you don't substitute. So our A is 5 plus n minus 1. Our common difference is 7. So this we can now expand. So 7 times n, 7n. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. So Tn is equal to 5 minus 7 plus 7n, which is our final answer. Tn is equal to negative 2 plus 7n. So we can now move on to question 8a. The distance between town F and town G is 8,100 nautical miles. If a plane takes 18 hours to fly from F to G, find its average speed in knots. So speed is equal to distance over time. So the distance, we have it. It's 8,100 over time 18 hours. So over 18 hours. So how can we break this number? So if you want, you can say 9 is common. 9 can go into 81 and also into 18. So 81 is same as 9 times 9. Then you have 100 here over 18 same as 9 times 2. So that I can cancel this number here. So we can say that we have 900 over 2. So 2 into 900, this will give us 450 knots. So you can simplify it like this, or if you want, you can say 8100 over 18. 9 here is 2. 9 into 81 is 9. 2 into 900, we still get 450 knots. So there are so many ways in which you can simplify a question under mathematics paper 1. So you just have to find what works for you. Then we go to B. Town B is east of town A. When it is 11 hours at B, it is 07 hours at A. Find the difference in longitude between the towns A and B. So let's say if we can make a visual diagram. So town B is east of town A. So A is somewhere here. Then B, we are told is east, so it's somewhere here. Then when it is 11 hours at B, so at B we have 11 hours. At B it is 07 hours at A. So how do we find the difference? So whenever you are given a time difference, the first one, first we are going to subtract 7 hours from 11 hours. So we have 11 hours minus 7 hours. So you know that if we subtract here, we have 0, 0. So if we subtract 11 minus 7, we have 4 hours. So the difference in hours is 4 hours. Then for you to calculate now the difference in longitude, given or calculated the number of hours, is the number of hours multiplied by 15. So if we multiply 4 times 15, we get 60 degrees. So this was the answer. Now we move on to question 9. Given that the matrix C has 1, 4, 2, 5, find C transpose. So the original matrix for C is this one. So the transpose, if we want to transpose a matrix, we just have to swap. So the first row of the first matrix will become the second row. The first row of our second matrix, so which is 1, 4. Then this one will become now 2, 5. So this is our answer. Then express as a single matrix. So we have it here, 1, 8. So this one now we are going to have this should be 1. So it's a multiplication where we use row by column. So this row times this column. So this will be 1 multiplied by 0 plus 8 times 2. Then we do the same but with the second column. So this will be 1 times -1 plus 80 times 5. And let's see, 1 times 0 is 0. 8 times 2 will give us 16. 1 times -1 is -1 plus 40. Then what is our final answer here? 0 plus 16, we get it, 16. -1 plus 40, we'll have 39 as our final answer. So we move on to question 10a. The probability of Kaskuru waking up late is 0.3. What is the probability that she woke up early? So we use probability of waking up early plus the probability of waking up late is equal to 1. So the probability of waking up early, we have probability of waking up late, we have it. So we are calculating the probability of waking up early. So probability of waking up early plus 0.3 is equal to 1. So is equal to, so this number will shift, we have 1 minus 0.3. So 1 minus 0.3 is 0.7. or if you want you can convert this into a fraction. So 0.3 is same as since there is only one decimal here, is same as 3 over 10. So if you want we can say probability of waking up early. So this will be 1 minus 1 over 10 over 1. So lowest common denominator is 10. 1 into 10 times 1, that is 10 minus 1, which is 7 over 10. So 7 over 10 is same as 0.7. So that is it. So the key point is if you are given one probability and asked to find the second probability, just subtract the given probability from 1, then you have the second probability. Then we can now go to question B. The following diagram shows a sector POQ of radius 6 centimeters, angle POQ, theta, and the area of the sector is 24.2 centimeters squared. Then the question is find the value of theta. Okay, so let's see. So we'll say area is equal to theta over 360 pi r squared. So the area is given 24.2. Then theta is what we are solving for, over 360 times 22 over 7 times the radius is 6 times 6. Now the question is, how can we simplify numbers like this? So let's see what we can do here. So we can first write it like this. So there are so many ways, but I like breaking these numbers into 2. So 360 is same as 36 times 10. Okay, so multiply by 22 over 7. Then we know that 6 times 6 will give us 36. So say 36 here, 36 here, cancel. Then we can also cancel. 2 here is 11, 2 here is 5. So at this point we have 24.2 is equal to, so theta times 11 over 5 times 7. So over 1 we can now cross multiply. So let's see what we can do. So theta times 11, we have 11 theta. Then 24.2 times 5 times 7. So now what are we going to do at this point? So at this point we are going to say 11 theta. We can multiply, first we multiply 24.2 times 5. So let's do this. So say 2, 4, 2. Let's ignore the point for now. So multiply by 5. So 5 times 2 is 10, carry 1. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 1, 1, carry 2. 5 times 5. We have 10 plus 1, that I mean plus 2 from the 20, we have 121. So we can see that if we bring back our decimal, this will be 121.0. So this is same as 121 times 7. Now we know that 11 can go into 121. So 11 times 11 is 121. So 11 into 121 is 11 times 7. So we know that 7 times 11 will give us 77 degrees. So this is the angle that was here. So we move on to question 11a. Given that universal has the numbers 1 up to 10, then A prime numbers, B multiples of 3. list A union B complement. So first, let's make set A. So set A has prime numbers. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are numbers with two factors, 1 and the number itself. So numbers like the first one is 2, 3, 5, 7. 9 is not a prime number because in 9 we have three factors. There is 1, 3, and 9. Then let's look at B. B, we are looking at multiples of 3. So multiples of 3 will first the number that we can multiply by 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So won't exceed the 10. 10 is our limit. So now let's make A and B as one set. So we are going to find A union B. So this will be 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. So now since there is a complement, this means that we need to remove these elements from our universal. So our final answer, A union B, will be the remainder of the numbers. So 1 is not here, 2 is here, 3 is here, we have 4, 5 is there, 6 is there, 7 is there, 8, 9 is there, 10. So this is our final answer. Now we have question B. On the diagram in the answer space, draw triangle Q, the image of triangle P under a reflection in the line y is equal to negative x. So let's look at it. So the mirror line is y is equal to negative x. So the first thing that you are supposed to know is you need to know where are we supposed to draw this mirror line. So whenever you are given y is equal to negative x, the line will pass through here. So this is where the line should pass through. Now the properties or property of reflection is the image should be opposite but facing each other. So this is our object. So this is our object. These are the points for the object. So now how can we find the image? So we need to look at this point. So we'll move 1, 2. So you can see that we have two boxes between the mirror line and the object. So we'll move also 2 points in the same direction. So we'll move 1, 2. So the first point will be here. This is our first point. Now if you are to find these coordinates here, coordinate for A is 1, 3. But the image is negative 3, negative 1. So here, whenever you have this, you can just swap the numbers and you change the signs. Now let's look at for this point B. So B will be 1, 2, 3. So move again 1, 2, 3. So our B will be here. So let's look at the coordinates for B. So B is 3, 3. 3, 3. Then the B image is negative 3, negative 3. So you swap, then you change the signs. Then here, let's look at our C. So move 1 and half. Okay. So half this and the 1. So we have it here. So here is the C. Coordinate for C is 3, 0. But the coordinate for C image, this one will be 0, negative 3. So that is the other way. So the point is, if you have this mirror line like this one and you find the image on the negative part, then just find the coordinates, then you find the image. So this is our image under reflection. So we have our image here. Okay, so now let's move on to question 12. So question 12, a piece of wood measures 25 centimeters long. Find the upper and lower limits. So for the upper, so it will be 25 centimeters plus the absolute error. So since this is just a whole number, there is nothing like correct to 1 decimal, 2 decimal places, so the absolute error is 0.5. so you can just commit that to memory. So absolute error is just 0.5. so whenever you are solving for upper limit, you add, so plus 0.5 centimeters. So now how do we add numbers in paper one? So you do this. So 25 plus 0.5. So here we need to have a decimal, then 0. So you need to make sure that the decimal are in a straight line. So 0 plus 5 is 5. Here 5 we have 2. So our final answer is 25.5 centimeters. Now for lower limit, opposite this time, we are going to subtract. So 25 centimeters minus 0.5. So you always subtract the absolute error. So this will be 25.0 minus 0.5. So 0 minus 5, it is impossible. So we take 1, we have it 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. Here we have 4 minus 0 is 4. So the lower limit is 24.5 centimeters. Then we are solving for percentage error for B. So percentage error is equal to absolute error, then divided by true value, multiplied by 100%. So the absolute error is 0.5 centimeters over the true value is just this number, so it is 25 centimeters times 100%. So we can cancel this. We have 0.5 over 25 times 100%. So there are so many ways in which we can solve this one. If what, we can multiply 5 times 10 over 25 times 7. Or if what, we know that 25 can go into 100 without giving a remainder. So we say 25 here is 1, 25 here is 4. Then 0.5 times 4 will give you 2.0. So which is 2.0%. So that is our answer there. So we have now question 13. Given that f of x is equal to x minus 4 and h of x is equal to x plus h. The first one, we want to find the inverse of h. So let's solve for the inverse of h. So our original function for h is this one. So the first one, where there is the f of x or h of x, you replace with the y. So this will be y is equal to 2x plus 3. Then upon reaching here, make x the subject of the formula. So here we are going to say 2x plus 3. Then this 3 will shift to this side. So have 2x is equal to y minus 3 over 2 over 2. X is equal to y minus 3 over 2. So after we are done, where there is x now, we put this expression for inverse. Now y replace back with negative, h over 2. So this is our final answer. So now let's look at h inverse of 5. So let's say we have h inverse. So this means that x is equal to 5. So how do you do this question? So let's say we have x now. Do we have this expression? Yes, we have it. We can say that we have this expression. So we'll say x minus 3 over 2. So this means that now where there is x, we replace with 5. So this will be 5 minus 3 over 2. So 5 minus 3, we have it, 2 over 2. This will give us 1. Then the C, we want the composite function h f of x. So the formula for this one, first we'll begin with the function, the outside function, which is our h. So we write h, then open brackets, then f of x will be inside. So this means that we are going to combine two functions. So the function for x will be replaced, we are going to replace it on the x for the function of h. So the first one, we need to write the function of h. It is 2x plus 3. So this now, where there is x is where we are going to put the function of f of x. And we know that the function of f of x is x minus 4, then plus 3. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 4, we have negative 8 plus 3. Then our final answer is 2x minus 5. Okay, so in the following diagrams, P, Q, and R are 3 points on the level ground. The bearing of P from Q is 228. Angle QPR is equal to 72. And R is due south of Q. So this point is very important. Whenever we miss this point, we may fail to find the answer. So let me do this. Okay, so let's see. So the first one, we need to extend these lines. So what you have to know is these lines are parallel to each other. So what are we going to do? So what we are going to do is, first we can find the angle at here, this angle here. So we know that this line up to here, the straight line is equal to 180. So if we subtract 228 from 180, we have this inside angle. So first I just want to fill this angle. So this will be 228 subtract by 180. So 8 minus 0 is just 8. 2 minus 8 is impossible, so we get 1. We have 12 minus 8, we have it, 4. Then we know that here we have 1 minus 1 is 0, so here we have it 48 degrees. So if we have 48, what is this angle? So we know that a triangle adds up to 180. So let's put here we have x. So we'll say x plus 72 plus 48 is equal to 180. Then we know that if we add 48 plus 72, so 2 plus 48 we have 50. 50 plus 70 we have 120 is equal to 180. So we can collect the like terms. So this 120 will shift to this side. So this will give us 180 minus 120. So this will give us now the value of 60. So here we have the value of 60. Now we can see that if here we have 60, even here we are going to have 60 because of alternate angles. Then what else? Now let's go to the question. Find the bearing of Q from P. Of Q from P. So Q from P. So the Q is here, the P. So where the bearing is coming from is always considered to be a straight line. So this bearing is coming from P. Point P is here. So you need to move from the north of that point where you're coming from. So this one moving in this direction. We know that this line is our Q, so we want this angle. Now how can we find this angle? So say this 48, also here it is what? 48. So the answer will be 0, 48, because bearings are given in 3 digits. Then P from R, P from R. So this is our R. So move in this direction until we reach this point. So this is angle. We know that if we are to complete this, will give us a circle. A circle adds up to 360. So we'll say 360 minus 60. This will give us 300 degrees. So we move on to question 15. A line passes through the point -2, and B 0, y. Given that the gradient of the line is -3, find the coordinates of B. So we'll say A has -2, 5. So x1, y1. Then B 0, y. So x2, y2. So here we want to find how can we find the missing coordinates given the gradient. So we use the formula. We know that gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2, x1. So the gradient is given -3 is equal to y2 is just y minus y1 is 5 over x2 is 0 minus -2. So -3 is equal to y minus. We know that negative times negative, positive, 2 plus 0 will just get 2. So over 1, we can now cross multiply. So 1 times y minus 5 is y minus 5. 2 times -3 will give us -6. Then if we collect the like terms, so this will be y is equal to -6. So if this number shift to this side, we get +5. So y is -1. Then for B, in the diagram, ABC is a straight line, angle BCD is 90 degrees, and tan ABD is equal to -3/4. So ABD. So here we have 3/4, but negative. So now how can we find the inside angle? So if the outside angle is negative, then the inside is positive. So this means that the inside angle is 3/4. So if 3/4 is our inside angle, how can we calculate the length of BD? So let's say this angle, we have it here. So if this angle, we have it here, this distance is opposite. We know that the distance opposite, in line with the angle, is opposite. Then the distance next to the theta is the adjacent. Then here we have hypotenuse. So the question is, let's look at these numbers. So let's go back to tan. So tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So tan CBD. So say CBD is equal to, so the inside will be +3/4. So this means that the 3 is representing the opposite. So here there is the distance of 3. Then the 4 is representing the adjacent, which is 4. So how can we find the missing distance? So we are going to use now Pythagoras theorem. So how do we calculate Pythagoras theorem? So we know that the longest distance hypotenuse is C, then these two can A and B. You can choose any of these to be A or B, it doesn't matter. So the formula is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So the key point is whenever you are solving for hypotenuse, you need to square the two numbers, you add them, then you find a square root, then you have it. So C squared is equal to, what is the distance for A is 4 squared plus C 3 squared. 4 squared is 16 plus 9. The sum of 16 and 9 is 25. Then we take the square root. So now that C will give us 5. So therefore, distance BD is equal to 5 centimeters. Move on to question 16A. Two cylinders A and B are geometrically similar, and the ratio of their heights is m to 4 respectively. Given that the area of A and B are 144 centimeters squared and 256 centimeters squared, find the value of m. So how can we find the value of m? So let's make these ratios, these numbers as ratios. So we have 144 centimeters squared to 256 centimeters squared. So we'll divide by centimeters, we'll divide by centimeters, so that here we have 144, then we have 256. Since these two numbers represents the area, we are going to find the square root for each. So here the square root of 144 is 12, 256. Then the square root of 256 is 16. So we have these two ratios. Then we are saying we need to use now m. So let's look at two cylinders geometrically similar and the ratio of the heights are. So given that that's the area of P, so m will be here, then we'll have 4. We'll cross multiply, so 16 times m is 16m is equal to, here we have 12 times 4 over 16 over 16. So m is equal to 4 here is 1, 4 here is 4. 4 into 12 we have 3. So this is the ratio, it is 3. Then we move on to question B. The diagram below shows a square base right pyramid with an axis AB. Describe fully the symmetry of the pyramid. So the symmetry, we want to look at how many times can we turn this. So the key point for this one, square base, we know that a square is a polygon with 4 sides that are equal. So this side is equal to this side is equal to this side is equal to this side. So the symmetry of the pyramid, so the pyramid has 4 symmetry. So this is the symmetry, for. Then if we want to find the angle of rotation here, we can say, so we need to divide by the number of rotations. So it's 360 over 4. 4 into 360 is 90. So this means that if we want also, we can say this pyramid has an order of rotation 4 and angle of rotation 90 degrees. So for this video we'll end it here. We'll consider this one as our first part. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.